Live on DSTV channel 421, Go TV channel 125. This is Joy News Prime with me, Carlos Kaloni. Cracks begin to emerge within the Labour front as a decision by its leaders to strike over the government inaction on Galamsey faces fierce resistance from some members.
Our concern as a member of that particular organization or institution is that we were not involved. We are not aware anything at all that they did.
Meanwhile, Minerals Commission boss reveals there's active illegal mining happening behind a police station, with the police failing to act despite persistence notifying them.
We have reported severally that behind Anyinam police station, people are doing stuff there which we have not permitted.
An effort to secure bail for more than 30 remand protesters underway after the High Court granted 21 of them bail but denied bail for Oliver Baka Vomao. We have details. In our latest episode of Street of Despair series, we'll tell you the story of a 24-year-old Trotro mate whose dream of becoming a journalist is slipping away.
That was my topmost priority, was to be in the journalism this thing. And you know, see, I can see a ball and I have a no idea. Bremo, and Crawford, my so and Crawford Close. So, any year I will be Bremer, the SEC or a Manchiane and Chiano, so or my Ghana Muha.
Now, there's a deepening division within the Labour front as some concerned members of organised Labour reject calls for an industrial action against illegal mining. The call for industrial action was made by the leadership of the Labour Union, who argued that the government failure to declare state of emergency on Galamsey is a threat to the livelihoods of Ghanaians. Despite its engagement with the government, organised Labour is set to embark on a nationwide strike on October 10. However, some members of the Labour Union have rejected the call, saying that it was not the right approach to addressing the issue of Galamsey. Nana Bwachi Yadom has more in the following report.
Division continues to deepen in the Labour front as some concerned members of the organised Labour say they are refusing to join calls by leadership to embark on a strike on the 10th of October, that is this coming Thursday. The group in the Ashanti region says there is some political interference and lack of proper communication between the Labour front and its members, hence their decision to reject calls by the leadership to embark on a strike on October 10th. There has been major concerns raised by the members of the Labour Union here in the Ashanti region. Dr. Solomon Fokio is a member of UTAG in the Ashanti region.
But the major concern now is what the Labour, is it organised Labour or disorganized Labour, is talking about, and that is the major issue now. They have decided to declare a strike on the 10th of this particular month, that is October. We don't have a problem about that. They can declare the strike. But our concern as a member of that particular organization or institution is that we were not involved. We are not aware anything at all that they did. I am from UTAG, and others are from other campuses, being it UTAG, being it other professional bodies. We were not consulted, and we have not been involved in any activity that they have been.
Well, the group has decided to reject calls by its leadership to embark on a strike on the 10th of October against government's decision not to declare a state of emergency on Galamsey. What they say, before they can comply, there must be a consensus.
We want them to come back to us. Come and join with us, for all of us to have our views so far as this is concerned. Because anytime we want to declare strike, other than national executives will take it up and bring it down to the local unions, so that the local unions will also come down with the members for us to discuss and vote on it. But this time around, it's just top approach. And you don't know why. Some of us see that declaring the strike is not the way forward.
For Joy News, my name is Nana Bwachi Yadom, Kumasi.
But here in Accra, however, Secretary General of the Trades Union Congress, Joshua Ansah, refuted claims that President Akufo-Addo has asked for more time to take a decision on the demands of organized labor. Labor unions led by TUC had given government a 1-month ultimatum to, among other things, declare state of emergency on all mining activities and revoke legislative instrument 2462 as part of measures to tackle the devastating effect of Galamsey on the environment. Before Monday's meeting, the leadership of Labour went into a meeting at the invitation of the president to deliberate on their demands. My colleague Aveji has more in the following report.
After that meeting between the president as well as a section of leadership of organized labor, one of the key communications from that meeting is that organized labor is waiting on the president or government official communication on what their position is. Secretary General of TUC, Joshua Ansah, has been taking us through what exactly was contained in that official document from government to organized labor.
That the government will collaborate with organized labor and the stakeholders in the fight against Galamsey. Number 2, the government will take steps when Parliament reconvenes this month to revoke the environmental protection, that is the mining and in forest reserve regulation 2023 LI 2462. Again, government would ramp up its enforcement measures, particularly which relates to prohibiting the mining in water bodies and forest areas. Then government supports the call for all presidential candidates to sign a pact committing to the fight against illegal mining.
The TUC Secretary General, however, refutes claims that the president requested for more time during that meeting on Thursday.
The president has not said anything. We had a discussion. We said by the 10th of October, if nothing has been done, there will be a nationwide strike. The president discussed the issues with us, our demands with us, and what he's able to do is what he's told us, and it's written vividly on this paper. That is all.
Now, according to him, government has not been able to meet all their demands, especially the declaration of a state of emergency on all mining activities. He said their resolve to embark on strike on the 10th of October remain unchanged.
We have the view that what the government has proposed to do does not adequately address our demands, and therefore our notice of strike notice remains unchanged. Thank you.
Fingers remain crossed as we wait for the 10th of October. From the TUC headquarters here in Accra, my name is James Abeji, reporting for Joy News.
Now, still on Galamsey, Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Commission, Martin Ayisi, has revealed there's currently active illegal mining going on right behind the police station in Anyinam. According to the Chief Executive Officer, who was making submissions before Parliament Assurance Committee, the Commission has alerted the police to the Galamsey operation several times, but the police has failed to take action.
Licenses are not issued to anybody to mine a water body. So in the first place, anybody who goes to the water body to go and mine is engaged in a criminal activity. We need to be clear about that. It's engaged in a criminal activity. If we have to give any special permit for anybody to do anything in a water body, it's what we do for VRA. That from time to time they come for this special permit to dredge the estuary to allow these water snails that host the behavior parasite to go away. We do that, and that's a proper thing. Outside that, there's no way we'll tell you, we'll give you a license to go and mine a mineral in a water body. We don't do that. So anybody who gets into the water body is involved in illegality. We have reported severally that behind Anyinam police station, people are doing stuff there which we have not permitted. So how come that the police is not taking action? So those guys that Minerals Commission has brought to the attention of MUSEC or DISEC, depending on where it is. The Anyinam one, for example, that Galamsey is taking place behind the police station. So it's like we've told you Galamsey is having a job, 600 proper. that is behind this new block. Respectfully, Honorable Okujeto and chair of this respectful Honorable Committee, the Minerals Commission officer has done his work. I am not saying that we have also not let Ghana down or we are 100% right. Because they have told you that there are instances where people have had all their rights and they have made mistakes. Of course, that's why they are inspectors.
Now, the Minerals Commission Chief Executive has also reiterated the Commission's opposition to calls to ban all small-scale mining. Martin Ese says that will not and cannot help deal with the issue of Galamsey.
So when you say ban small-scale mining, Chair, this is my understanding. It means that don't allow anybody to do it lawfully. I understand the situation and the backlash from Ghanaians. Oh, stop it all together and reset or pause or whatever. Then the guy in Tinga, the guy in Dakupe who has sunk a borehole, who has spent money to sink a shaft, he says, hang on, I am not by the white water or Pra or Cobra. Why do you want to, Chair, if you permit me, punish me because folks along the Pra, Brim and Co are misbehaving? Why don't you go and deal with that problem and let me do my work lawfully? Those are the issues we are faced with. So I advise government, and I told my minister that it will not be proper for us to have a wholesale ban. That's number one. On the grounds that a lot of them are, I mean, the whole of Takwa is underground mining. There's a video I've given to Sister Jiagi. If you have time, we can play it. And I will advise strongly, I take you there. It's a site owned by a group of people. It's a typical community mining site. Chair, I'm not lying to you. There are 5,000 workers there. They have their license, they have their environmental permit, purely underground operation. Maybe we can show 5-10 minutes of it, not the whole, because the whole clip starts from Galamsey, the anger and all those things to the formalization. Maybe we'll show the formalization part. And you see 5,000. So the moment you say we are banning small-scale mining, not Galamsey, because Galamsey is banned, it means they're asking 5,000 people in Takwa not to work, punishing them for something that is not their fault. So this is some of the conundrum that we face. Other than that, our biggest headache is getting a place for them to work.
But the chairman of the committee is not satisfied with the work the commission is doing to combat illegal mining.
Listening to you carefully, one would have thought that the chaotic situation, the jungle system which we have now, where even people who decide to go through due process and to obtain all the licenses, and I have LI 2462 here. If you look at the first schedule of LI 2462, in terms of the conditions that these miners have to meet after obtaining the mineral right, before any mining can be done, they must obtain an environmental permit under the Environmental Protection Agency Act 1994, Act 490, and the Environmental Assessment Regulations 1999, LI 1652. They must also obtain a water use permit from the Water Resources Commission under the Water Resources Commission Act 1996, Act 522, and Water Use Regulations 2001, LI 1692. They must also secure a mining operating permit from the Inspectorate Division of the Minerals Commission under the Minerals and Mining Health, Safety and Technical Regulations, LI 2182 of 2012. Then they must also secure a forestry entry permit from the Forestry Commission under the Minerals and Mining Act, 2006, Act 703, the Forestry Commission Act 1999, Act 571. You are telling this committee that even before they meet these regulations, there are many instances where the illegal miners encroach, take over their concession. And so sometimes seeing what is happening, they cannot wait. And so you say that sometimes you have sympathy for them for not waiting and also jumping into the fray and engaging in an illegality. Is this not the reason why we should just stop everything? And as organized labor, the coalition against the mining crisis, the Catholic Bishop Conference, the Apostolic Fathers, all the young people of our country who have been demonstrating over the last few weeks, civil society organizations, what everybody is saying is that we are in a crisis. So it cannot be business as usual. Something ought to be done.
Meanwhile, efforts are underway to secure bail for at least 31 protesters who have not yet been granted bail by a court. The Accra High Court granted 21 out of the 53 arrested protesters bail with varying terms. The court, however, did not grant Oliver Bakavomawo, convener of Fix the Country movement, bail and will continue to remain in custody. Member of our Legal Affairs Desk, Kweku Asante, was in court for us and now report.
For almost all the protesters, it's been 2 weeks in either police cells or prison custody after the Circuit Court remanded them following the arrest for alleged unlawful acts during a protest against illegal mining. The Criminal Division of the High Court granted 9 persons bail, including popular lawyer and social media influencer Ama Governor. The 9 were granted 70,000 cedis bail with 2 sureties. In the general jurisdiction, however, the bail application of 13 persons were heard. 12 were granted bail to the tune of 20,000 cedis with 2 sureties. The 12 include Felicity Nelson, Cedric Bansa, Ni Ayopare, Michael Amufa, and Benjamin Ekufudako, whose lawyers have claimed he did not take part in any of the protest but was arrested when he went to visit Oliver Bakavomawo at the hospital. Oliver Bakavomawo himself was denied bail. The High Court, however, directed that the Circuit Court begins the trial within 72 hours or consider granting him bail. The denial of bail for Oliver Bakavomawo stems from his prior release on bail for treason felony charges in relation to a Facebook post he made. The presiding judge voiced concerns that releasing him on bail might lead to further offenses, citing the Criminal Procedure Act, Section 96(5)(c), which allows courts to deny bail if there is a reasonable fear that the accused will commit another crime if he is granted bail. At least 53 persons were arrested during the protest, and all of them remanded. Joy News understands the bail application will be moved for the other 31 remanded protesters. Meanwhile, all the arrested protesters are expected to be back at the Circuit Court for the substantive trial to begin. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante.
The Attorney General's office has missed a deadline to file a defense in the ongoing case of Dr. Amanda Odoi versus the Speaker of Parliament and the Attorney General, which challenges the constitutional process behind the passage of the Sexual Human Rights and Human Values Bill. This has caused significant delays as the Supreme Court awaits proper filings from all parties involved. Proponents of the bill have served a notice they would hit the streets tomorrow to pile pressure on the judiciary to fast-track the hearing of the cases before challenging the passage of the anti-LGBTQI bill. But the judiciary, in its defense, says the failure of parties to file the needed memorandum of issues is a major obstacle. Here is a member of the Judicial Service PR team, Justice Ellen Ofei-Ayi, with more.
Now, the case of Dr. Amanda Odoi versus the Speaker of Parliament and the Attorney General was filed on 11 June 2023 on grounds that Parliament had contravened Article 108 of the 1992 Constitution in the passage of the bill. Parliament filed its defense in the form of a statement of case in March 2024. Parliament was supposed to file its defense within 14 days of the notice of the action. However, Parliament filed its defense on 14th March 2024. The Attorney General has not filed a defense in the form of a statement of case. Neither have the three parties filed the issues to be decided by the court as directed by the Supreme Court Rules 1996 CI 16. Now, in respect of Richard Sky versus Parliament of Ghana and the Attorney General, it was filed on 5th March 2024. The plaintiffs also want a declaration. The plaintiff also wants a declaration, among others, that the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill was passed in violation of Article 108 of the 1992 Constitution. Neither Parliament nor the Attorney General has filed a defense in the form of a statement of case. All three parties have not filed the needed memorandum of issues that they need the court to settle.
Now, in Richard Sky's case, which also challenges the passage of the bill on the grounds that Parliament violated Article 108, neither Parliament nor the Attorney General has filed a defense yet. Both parties have failed to meet the requirement to submit their statement of case and memorandum of issues, causing further delays. Justice Ellen Ofei-Ayi once again.
Now, the Judicial Service issued a statement on the 13th day of September 2024, which gave the above update in respect of the two cases and explained that the parties have not completed the processes they were required to file before the Supreme Court can hear any case. On 1st October 2024, the lawyer for Parliament filed an application asking the court to give permission for Parliament to file its defense, even though they had exceeded the 14 days set by the Supreme Court Rule CI 16. This application will be heard within the first week of the Supreme Court sitting, being the 15th to the 17th of October 2024. The general public is assured that the Supreme Court Registry is ready to receive all processes that need to be filed. The Supreme Court is ready to hear every matter where parties have complied with the rules of court directing the processes to be filed before a hearing is held.
Now, still to come in our story of despair, we'll tell you the story of a 24-year-old trotro mate whose dream of becoming a journalist is slipping away. Stay.
The one that was my topmost priority was to be in the journalism this thing. Anyinam no isi akese ebo anayaboabo no ayede bremo ewo enkrofo aman so enkrofo akuro so ene ya area bi brema ya de asisi wo ye manchia ne ye ntua no so.
Welcome back. Now, at 24, Godwin Osei's dream of becoming a journalist is slipping away. He works as a trotro mate in Accra, hustling to survive after his single mother could not afford to further his education. In this series of A Street of Despair, Kenneth Jesse tells the story of the ambitious young man from Efidiase Banko, who, despite life's challenges, remains hopeful for a better future.
Godwin starts his day at 4:30 a.m. His bed? The worn-out seat of a trotro. For the past 6 months, this has been his home. He calls out routes, collects fares, and pushes through Accra's endless traffic.
The sake of the mate work we do, the car is a real sleep. Unless I do not work that very day, then I rent to one of my friends. We have extra crews. Yeah, some of us who stays at home, we can your master will collect your bag, then put it inside his room for you. Yeah, and those who are on this park sleep on this park. You know, we have the passengers. Then there is a bag or luggage place where we put our bags and the matins.
But Godwin's story did not start here. He grew up in Efidiase Banko, dreaming of becoming a journalist. After completing high school in 2018, his family's financial struggles forced him to put those dreams on hold. He took on odd jobs to support his mother and siblings.
Since from my childhood time, the work I wanted to do, I can say it was 3 jobs that's in my life. If it not, I couldn't even acquire anything, then only one day is very. But right now, no. The one that was my topmost priority was to be in the journalism this thing, yeah. Because of the place that we grew up from, no, I know. I was aware of that. I was aware of that because even through within the SS time and all, it wasn't easy. Yeah, we hustled. So I started the mates work there about SS time. When we vacate from school, then I get back to one of my uncles at Bremen UGC. Then it be there that I commenced the mates work.
Now, he wakes up each day with the same determination. Despite the hardships, he remains hopeful, believing things will get better.
It's not easy to roam on the street, to find a food for yourself and cater for yourself. It's very, very hard work. Yeah. No, I know that in this world there is nothing easy, but being on the street is absolutely not easy. Though my mother helped, but you can't always. I'm not his only child or something like that, and I'm the eldest one among them. So I've been on the since from my JHS time.
Before we left, I asked Godwin to show us his true passion, and when he did, it was clear he had the heart of a journalist.
Yo, mind this year, no isia abo, and opepon ebobo sumeda etoso edunai, ewo mfimpimienu ene aduano enaimu. Anyumre no isia kase ebo anayabo abo anu ayede bremo ewo enkrofo amanso enkrofo akroso ene ya ewa bibrema ya de asisi wo ye manchia ne ye ntua no so ewo omaiga na mu ha ana yede brewo. Me okenkan for a me de okenkan se me ebremo me PSC Nanaya Osei aka Amanfo Dodo Stocky ana me de kasiabo ebremo.
Each day, Godwin puts on a brave face, hustling to make ends meet. To passengers, he's just another mate, but behind his eyes lie big dreams, telling stories not from the streets, but from the very newsrooms he has always aspired to join. Kenneth Jesse for Joy News.
Great talent there. Now, away from the story, staff of the National Identification Authority boycotted work, citing the failure of the government to operationalize the newly approved scheme of service for the authority. The scheme of service, which was approved by the government, outlines the terms and conditions of service for staff of the NIA, including benefits. However, the staff claim despite the approval, the government has failed to implement the scheme, leading to a breakdown in their working conditions. The staff, who are demanding the immediate implementation of the scheme of service, say they will not return to work until their demands are met. The boycott has brought all activities at the NIA Ashanti Regional Office to a standstill, with applicants for the National Identification Card, the Ghana card, being turned away. Nana Bwachi Yadom has more in the following report.
The NIA office here in the Ashanti region has been closed to applicants and any other person coming to seek essential services from their offices here in the Ashanti region. The staff of the NIA are embarking on a strike over government's failure to operationalize their new scheme of service, which includes their benefits of services. Well, a number of applicants who have been here to seek the services of the NIA have been turned away due to the ongoing strike. A number of them came here early morning to seek the various services of the NIA, but then the staff did not attend to them. I must say that a number of them are here, but they are not attending to anybody who comes in to seek their services because they say that they are on strike. We got to engage with some applicants who came to seek services at the National Identification Authority office here in the Ashanti region.
First of all, but we buy it so for just almost strike. And to multi me, and then you busa say to almost strike, you know, that Ben on be on Beba, be on Munim, Sabi, be information.
I came here to get my Ghana card, but they are on strike and can't help me. I asked when they are resuming, and they said till further notice. Due to that, I have to go back home, but I can't get the card here.
What you say? Me buy or say me say can't Ghana card.
Na bi na ye buy see ba ye buy see o mu ni ha. Ye buy crash won say nka bi a o ma ko break and say bibi say wo say o ma bi a security gas be jan ha. E ma o mo direct ye ka say bi o mu ni ho and say bibi say ba. Ye buy so me tu bi a ha sa. Emum de be ha adwen pa.
It's really frustrating walking in the sun to get here and they are not available. This is an election year, so they should be able to avail themselves for 24 hours. To get the card quickly, you have to pay first. So the government really needs to do something about this. Without the card, you can't vote.
Within that moment, na omajuska. Ti o se abanhwe na omoye hu bi found.
With the offices of the NIA closed for any form of activity, these individuals coming to seek their services were told to return home until further notice. For Zone News, my name is Nana Boachidanko Yadom, Kumasi.
Let's now go to the Bono East region, where an Asabit report that scores of people who visited the Techiman office of the National Identification Authority left with a lot of disappointment.
The strike action by the unionized staff of the National Identification Authority under the Public Services Workers Union of the TUC follows government's failure to implement the group's newly approved scheme of service. This move means all offices of the NIA remain closed, including the Techiman Municipal Office and the Bono East Regional Office of the NIA. This strike action has affected members of the general public who are in urgent need of their Ghana cards for various purposes. This gentleman here, who spoke on anonymity, traveled several kilometers from Ofenso to Techiman only to meet the NIA offices closed.
So far, no sooner. I
lost my Ghana card and it is what I used for all my documentations. I took risk traveling from my community to this place, and after all this stress, I am not getting what brought me here. The situation is indifferent with the several others who traveled to the regional capital for their Ghana cards. Tobe Abubakar Suleiman is one of them. He moved all the way from Fianso to Techiman. He says he needs the Ghana card to help get his lost SIM card replaced.
I
came all the way from Techiman to Fianso. I left my job and I lost my phone and need the Ghana card to replace my SIM. And until I get it, I can't use my phone, and that is worrying. Kessie Desmond also lost his Ghana card 3 days ago through fire outbreak. He equally shared his frustrations with Joy News.
I
lost my card and I have just been told that the NIA is on strike. If I lose my phone right now, there is no way I can get it because the telecommunications network will ask for it. Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Techiman.
Now to some politics. NDC flag bearer John Dramani Mahama has called on the West African Elders Forum to intervene over growing concerns regarding the electoral register. The forum, formed by former West African leaders, aims to prevent election-related conflict and promote peace by advocating for credible elections across the region. The NDC argues that the current electoral roll is riddled with errors and unfit for purpose. It is urging the forum to engage with the Electoral Commission and ensure that necessary reforms are made ahead of the upcoming elections. John Mahama is the flag bearer of the NDC.
We have an election in barely 62 days now, 61 days. And there have been a few issues bubbling back and forth, especially with the Electoral Commission and issues to do with the register. So we're happy that a high-level delegation like this is here so that we can go through some of the concerns we have. We all want a peaceful election, but a peaceful election is predicated on the groundwork and the preparation that is done before the election. I'm sure that if we get everything right in the lead up to the election, then the election will be peaceful and successful. But we are committed to a peaceful election, and we believe that if we cooperate with each other, especially with the EC that is supposed to be the neutral arbiter and umpire, we should be able to get it right again.
The delegation led by former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan acknowledges that the sub-region is not immune to conflict, but remains optimistic that all parties will prioritize peace. They are set to begin a series of meetings with all relevant stakeholders to foster dialogue and cooperation.
We are not immune to conflicts, and we've seen that there are a lot of conflicts in the continent and conflicts in ECOWAS. And most of the conflicts are related to elections, and that's why we are placing so much emphasis on the election. Ghana so far is one of our good countries that have been conducting elections that has not led to excessive violence. Yes, there are issues. We've known even the last election from 1992 till date, but compared to most other countries, Ghana is on the positive side. It's a good example of the practice of democracy. We believe the coming election will be done in a way that will be peaceful. For citizens who disagree with the election result, that means that things are not done transparently. And those are some of the issues that worry us.
You're still watching Joy News Prime with me, Carlos Caloni. We'll take a short break. We'll return with more. Please stay.